Prem Sabalomapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Siddharam everybody and welcome to satsang. Here at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram, we wanted to do satsang as we are getting ready for Shivratri. To give people the knowledge, a little more insight into Lord Shiva, his teachings, his history, his katha, so as to inspire you as we get ready for Mahadev's night or the Shivratri itself. A common problem, people wish to worship, people want to do their prayer, they want to do the correct thing, but they don't know God. Part of Sankhya Yoga is knowing God, knowing his features, his history, his teachings. Why are the things that exist, the way he looks, the way he speaks, the way he wears different things on his body. Do you remember we did the discourse about the Rudraksh when Sati Mata is burning and the body is being turned into flame and embers, that Lord Shiva tears fall upon the earth, and this is where the Rudraksh originate from. We've done discourse in different times where Ganga Mata originated from, and how she ends up in here correlates to that Saraswati discourse where we were talking for Saraswati Jayanti about the formation of the Saraswati River, where Lakshmi, Ganga and Saraswati, they get into a little squabble. And at the end of it, they say, Ganga, you go and live on the head of Shiva. You go and remain there and let part of your form come upon the earth. If a person does not entertain this amount of knowledge, if you don't grow in your knowledge and your understanding of Mahadev Baba, when Shivratri comes and you're sitting in your temple with your Baba or in your home, maybe in your puja room, for those of you abroad, because of restrictions, we can't go place to place. When you sit and say, yes, I believe in Lord Shiva, I believe in prayers, I believe in God, what exactly do you believe in when you don't know God? When you don't know what he stands for? When you don't know his teachings? What are you following? Are you following just an image? Are you following what your father teach you to do? Or what Guruji told you to follow? Or what the crowd is doing? That's what we'll do. There are many examples of that. Many. A popular example, you'll hear about it from elders. When somebody died in the home and they put the diya on top of the kalsa in the dead man's room, long ago, people used to follow other religion. They used to take flour and ashes and coat the floor of the dead man's room, the Hindu, and lock the door, and the next day we'll open the door. And if you see in that flour or that ashes, you see a horse footprint, a chicken footprint, whatever type of footprint, that means the person who has died has been gone to heaven, now born back on the earth, because we as Hindus believe in reincarnation. And not only born as a baby, but born as a fully grown horse with only one foot to give you an imprint in that flower. So a one-footed horse, my mother has been reborn, dear God, by imprinting in now in the flower, a one-footed horse. Hindu people used to believe in that. And as time passed and Garud Puran and Pandits taught and people, most important, listen. Because Pandits could be blowing knowledge in the wind. But if you don't go after the knowledge, if you don't seek that Gyan, then it is of no help. It is of no use to you because it is totally above you. With this in mind, in Gita, Lord Krishna says, Karma Yoga, doing, the act of doing is very good. Very wonderful. I am doing Arati for Lord Shiva. Good job. But as I did on the online satsang the other day, the value of why we light the diya. Which one is better? The one where the wick is in the middle or the wick is on the end? The different things to make with the wick. What is the purpose of lighting the diya? What is the purpose of the different oils? I've seen people use mustard oil. I've seen people use sarsoon oil. Another name for mustard oil. Coconut oil, ghee. What's the difference? What does it yield? And why do we wave the light? Think about it. I don't know. I just know everybody say Arti. But if I never study why I Arti, or what these things are for, or why the tarya is made of metal, and my Aji used to quarrel, shine the bharata, make sure your tarya shine. Why? But it's only when we go to school we learn about metal having to be freed from the oxidation or what makes it dull, so that it can conduct electrical energy. Electrical energy. From the Murti Shakti, please come to my head, please come to my body and charge my body with that positive energy. When I'm bowing, dear God, I just bow to my forehead, I don't bow to my elbow, because my head houses the brain where the decisions, where all my likes and dislikes, my good and bad behavior live right here. Dear Lord, in your positive energy, may you please influence my decision making and guide me, this fool in this life. Today you'll hear, as we get into, I'm reading from Shiv Puran, Rudra Samhita or Yudakan, chapter 44. We're starting there. In the course of these 3 nights, as you'll be viewing, we'll be doing different discourses. Today I'm talking about Lord Shiva protecting his wife. Pay close attention to the husband type of behavior in Mahadev Baba. Then we will hear about when they fight and fall out. She'll buff him tomorrow. Because in marriage, there are those rough days. But as we see domestic violence and other types of problems plague society, you see this restriction that COVID caused, husbands were home, wives were home, and we never had so much conflict. Throughout this world, marriages were falling apart as people had to share the same space for longer than usual times. Some people really couldn't handle being together. So from our discourse today, let's just start to touch on how to, things like arguing, another day discourse, how to talk, how to appreciate the lady's body. You'll hear Lord Shiva learn a lesson. These 3 nights are to gear you with knowledge towards your Shivratri. When you look at him and you worship him, the intention is you must understand what he represents. And if you are a true devotee of Lord Shiva, my objective is for you to start following his footsteps, take his training and change your life for better. There are many examples between this husband and wife. Lord Shiva is our favorite actor, and he's showing us in this form what marriage is supposed to be. Today, we begin this 3 nights with the support of the team at Sankhya. Thank God for our sponsors. You will see them listed, and they will do an ad at the beginning and at the end. God bless the team at those companies for supporting this type of venture where we are doing it for the onlooking public. There's nobody here. This place is empty because of restriction. My cameraman is in a mask. So much has changed in the course of a year. But our prayer must go on. Your knowledge must continue to build. So we use a different method to get the same endpoint. We are going to Lord Shiva. Shivratri is coming. I hope you're ready. Let's begin as we enter into Shiv Puran Simran today, as we are about to read the discourse dealing with that personality called Andaka. Let's put our hands together. Those of you looking on and you repeat, you can still clasp your hands and pray to Lord Shiva. That's all we're doing. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapeta Jumbo Palachara Bhakshitam Umasutam Sho Kavinashakarakam Namami Veganeshwara Padapankajam Sarvamangalamangalye Shive Sarvata Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Sometimes people think that Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati only have two children, Ganesh and Kartik. But there are many examples, many people that were uplifted. And Mother Parvati always say, I accept this individual. I take this person as my child, as my son, as my daughter. Nandi, there are many, many people like that. Some of them have with them supported a wonderful discourse. And discourses that give, just by listening to the discourse, blessing. Today we'll enter one such discourse. And tonight, as you listen, I want you to pay attention to Lord Shiva's protective ways when it comes to his wife. Sometimes, as a pundit, yes, we get calls about birthdays, anniversaries, and weddings. But if you do a survey with your pundit or any other pundit, you will realize that people is called pundit to tell the worst, the horrific stories, the horrible times that some people experience. And in one of our nights, we're doing a play, and I want to illustrate some of these things to touch on a very sensitive topic. Today, I want to just talk about how we are supposed to be in marriage, how protective you are supposed to be of your spouse. But as we begin, let's hear what's going on with Lord Shiva, and then we'll discuss it at how it is applicable to our day-to-day life. Let's do the Sumran for the Shiv Puran before we enter into our discourse. This is a prayer where you are seeking permission to listen to the holy words of Mahadi Baba. And by listening or practicing that yoga of Shravanam, where you are listening to prayer, where you are looking at prayer, all these different things, all are equivalent and beneficial in gaining blessings. Dear God, because of the times we cannot journey to be in the temple, we cannot be in the place where your murti, where your puja is being done, but our prayer, our ability to listen to prayer still goes on. The work continues so much that right now we are under suppression because of sickness. And I want to make this abundantly clear. Somebody says, Pandit, but you know, everybody doing satsang, everybody doing prayers. Well, if they choose to endanger themselves, and I am answering, the person asked me this last night, I'm answering today on television. If you want to be reckless and invite young children or very elderly senior people that could be complicated with health to come and sit down in a crowd and blow and breathe on one another because the Baba want a Siddha, or they want the accolade of saying I have a huge crowd in my prayers as the host, do it. But Garud Puran is the guiding text. Coming to the latter part of the Pret Manjali, he says this body is a gift based on the karma that a person works life after life to attain. Janam after janam you accumulate good. And then God bless you with this human frame, more so with the mind that gives you the ability to say there is a God. I am limited in my capacity and He is the super capacity. From Him I will draw energy, as I said in the beginning, and I will be able to overcome the impediments that are in my life. This body is something, it says, this body is something that's supposed to be with great effort maintained. It is supposed to be safeguarded. It is supposed to be in some way protected. You don't go and commit suicide. You don't go and do things that are endangering your body or harming your life or others. You don't encourage other people to harm themselves. Based on the words of Lord Vishnu, I have continued to make a decision that if we are doing prayer, like Saraswati Jayanti, so we did a group of 10 people. We staggered the amount of groups, sanitized, allowed the air condition to come off so we could change the air, because we have to be responsible with people's life. This is an example of what we experience when we go to do somebody's wedding or funeral. Baba see the man up the road, he do this. Imagine in Trinidad and other parts of the world. The man wants to do the female role in the wedding and the lady wants to do the male part in the wedding. If you don't stand firm by the guidance of your text, then anything could happen. Then anybody could do anything however they wish. And the standards that we hold near and dear, it will fall to pieces. Therefore, if the law of the land says that we need to practice a little difference for the meantime, just as how we are practicing the differences with the Dash Gatra, instead of going to the river, we are doing it at temples, then we follow the rule of law. Then we maintain the practice of law. That is one of the teachings of Sanatana Dharma. So whilst I would love to have everybody, this Pandit does not want to encourage a crowd and then here, well, I went by Baba and look, somebody gets sick and God forbid somebody dies. We must be responsible and I hope you understand why. Let's join together with our Sumriyan. Gauri Shankara Pada Kamala Prema Sahita Hiyale Srimad Shambhu Puranya Ke Bhasha Rachahu Shiva Shruti Sambeda Anadi Shiva Samba Sachidananda Nirguna Brahma Vilaka Ek Dhyayami Sukhakan Jai Ke Maya Paya Jaga Baupalan Layaho Swayambhu Swayambhu Jasubala Pavat Gauravado Tiniko Madhav Ravi Gana Desha Shiva Yuta Dhyan Prema Sahita Kar Jora Kara Savahina Vahushesh Mata Pita Guru Bharati Veda Vyasa Munesh Prema Sahit Kar Jora Kara Savahina Vahushesh Sapta Sanghita Sahita Shri Shiva Puran Sukhadan Bhukti Mukti Daya Sugam Bhaktana Jivan Pran. Everybody, Gauri Shankar Parakamala Prema Sahita Hiyale Srimad Shambhu Puranya Ke Bhasha Rachahu Shiva. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Let's all join together as we do a couple of verses in praise of Lord Shiva. Manas prayer, Shiv Manas Stotra is a prayer that you will be chanting on the night of Shivratri. Shiv Manas Stotra caters for the person who might have a stroke, the person who cannot reach to touch the Murti. Maybe life is not there, maybe the strength is not there. What can I do? I can pray in my mind and I'll see. In the prayer says, I see you in the recesses of my mind, in the darkness of my mind. I see, I am bathing you with the milk, I am feeding the prasad to your mouth. I can see me massaging you with this heart, with the hardi. I'm rubbing your skin, I'm putting chandan on your forehead. When hands cannot reach to a mandir, when your body cannot reach to the place of Tirat, you can still find Mahadev here. Just a couple of verses, everybody put your hands together. Ratne kalpita masanam himajale Snanam cha divyambaram Nanaratna vibhushitam Regumada Modankitam chandanam Jati champaka bilva pattarachitam Pushpam cha dupam tathat Deepam devadayanidhi Pashupati Hrikalpitam gruyatam. Dear Lord, I adorn you with wonderful robes when I bathe you, after bathing you with water. I dress you with gems, I dress you with the sandal paste. I put all forms of perfume on your body. I'm seeing myself put flowers in your hair. I am putting a mala of bay leaves, all the different jasmine flowers, parijat flowers, accept all of them, Prabhu, as I imagine in my heart and my mind your worship. Sauvarane navaratna kandarachite Patre grutam payasam Bhakshayam pancha vivedyam payudadi yutam Ramba palam panakam Shakanam yutam jwalam ruchikaram Karpur kandu jwalam Tambulyam manasmaya virachitam Bhakta Prabhu Srikar Karu. Sweet rice, I feed you to your lips in a golden bowl. This bowl has gems. I'm seeing it, Prabhu. All the different types of sweets. Things made with dahi, things made with fig, bananas, vegetables I have cooked for you. Rose-scented water, camphor in the water. And I am feeding these things to your lips, dear Lord. May you please accept it all. May you accept this mind type, manas type devotion. May you accept what I offer and may you accept me. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. With this type of thought, with this type of thinking, we enter, as I said, chapter 44, where Sanat Kumar, that son of Brahma, is giving discourse. Where we reach in Shivran, he had now finished explaining Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashvu, and all the different battles that they had with Lord Vishnu. Hiranyaksh is now dead. Hiranyakshipu is also dead. Narsingh had destroyed him by the prayer, by virtue of the prayer of Prahalad. And Narad wants to know, when Hiranyakashipu is destroyed, Prahalad is still a boy. Who sits on the throne in the interim before Prahalad, Alahadad, Sambhad, all the brothers, because Prahalad had other brothers. Who sat on the throne in the interim whilst Prahalad was growing up? What is the story of this individual, the history? I've heard that there is some correlation, some interaction with Lord Shiva, making this person great as Prahalad is growing. Long before Prahalad was the old king that would one day bless his grandson, when we hear about the dwarf form of Lord Vishnu coming to the grandson of Prahalad, Bali. Prahalad is still a young boy, and Sanat Kumar is going to teach Narad what happened. Let's join together, everybody, in the comfort of your home. Pray tonight to Lord Shiva. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Tato Hiranyaksh Suputra Safala Putra Kachit Ye Shravanto Narga Ye Yuta Andaka Sur Tirate Rajan Ye Ati Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba
Tab Sharanam
Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Kinnar Rajan Gandharva Siddha Yena Hiran Raksh Sutta Prahalad Hiranyashikpu Prahalad Yetam Kin Priya Narak Ye Ati Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. I hope you're saying Jai with me, everybody. He says once, when Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu had been destroyed, there was a meeting amongst the brothers. Prahalad, Aharad, Sambad, all of them together. And there was one person invited to sit in this circle. Someone by the name of Andaka. Prahalad makes a statement to Andaka. And he says, oh brother, it is so unfortunate that you are helpless. You are an invalid. You are born blind. Your body is very weak. You are very ugly, hideous looking person. Because of your hideous look, your downtrodden history, our Father took pity upon you. And He accepts you as Safal Brata, as the step brother, as His son, as a stepson, adopted son. You have become our brother by this means, but you are incapable of ruling this nation. Now Andaka was older than Prahalad. And he was the one who was supposed to be the regent or the king in the interim for the real king Prahalad to take the throne. Andaka begins to cry and goes, he leaves that circle. And he goes and he starts to do prayer. The brothers discussing among themselves, can a person who is not the true son of the king aspire to rule the kingdom? Can that person who cannot control their own body, can that person rule anything or anyone? How will he rule anybody when he cannot even see the face of his enemy? How will he be able to lift a sword, much more the sword of my father? How will he fill these shoes? He will be overrun by enemies and neighboring kings very easily. Who will rule our kingdom? Andaka became very distressed, very depressed as well. Listening to the words of his brothers, that very night he went into the dark, dense forest and started to perform Gyan to Brahma. For a very long time he sat there. Then, as time is going, his body begins to wean away. The skin starts to shrivel. The skin is starting to lose its strength, its marrow. The body starts to shrink. Veins are showing under the surface of the skin, the way he has become thin. And like this, for many years, he continued to do this type of worship. Not eating, not drinking, simply practicing taking in the atoms in the air and surviving on that energy. And in this way, his body becomes very sparse, very weakened. And the devatas, after a long time, they realized that they were testing his girth, his merit, to see if he would stay to his prayer. Remember, in Hinduism, we don't have a devil. In other religion, good comes from God, and the devil does all the bad things that happen to us. So is other religious beliefs. We say it in our own language. You always hear people say, oh, you see that? The devil is a busy man. But our devatas, our God, the concept is very similar to what we live in this life. Let's use my mother, for example. My mother, when it is Christmas and birthday, she's the loving lady. Birthday, cake coming, food cooking, loving. Great job, great job. Exam pass, good job, happy lady, smiling lady, kissing. But that same mother, when I make mistakes, she becomes the disciplinarian. The same person. What does our devatas show? Is that yes, when things are good, they reward you for good. But that Durga Mata, that same lady, she says, when you do bad, I will take the 16 form we refer to as Sodas Matrika. When Shashti Mata is happy, children will be born, easy marriage. When she's not happy, miscarriage, stillbirth, children give trouble, they get sick, ill, die. When Savitri is happy, married people get married, happy marriage, easy marriage. When she's not happy, trouble in marriage. And like that, mother takes forms that could reward or punish, depending on how near you live. The mother is showing what a parent really is. When you do good, they are good. When you do something that is not as good, they have to pull you straight. And in our text, the same exists. The devatas, Brahma and others were watching to see, will he deviate from his prayer? Will he break or give up? Will he hold fast? And Andaka, although born in the family of Danavas, he holds to his prayer. And one day, Brahma appears. He says, oh miserable Danav, listening to your words, I have come here. Your brothers, those cruel boys, Prahalad and others, they have robbed you of the opportunity of being the king of your kingdom. What you have undergone is very hurtful. But nonetheless, I applaud the way you have done your prayer. Please ask me for whatever blessing, boon, ashirwad, whatever you wish to have. I am so happy with you. O son, ask for it. Placing his hands together. He says, a blind person like me should regain his sight. Let all the devatas bow their heads and pay taxes to a king like me. Let me become most invincible against the devatas, the daityas, Gandharvas, Yaksh, Nagas, and mankind. I should not be able to be destroyed by none of their hands. Even Indra, Vishnu, Shiva, none of them, don't let none of them be able to kill me. Listening to this, Brahma tells him, O great king, referring to him now as king, O great king, everything that you have said is fine, except whatever is born has to die. You have to have a way that you are going to depart this world. Listening to the words of Brahma, he says, O excellent one, whenever the most excellent woman, whether she is mature, middle-aged, or young, I will look at all of them as mothers. But when I become lost in lust, when I become desirous of a woman who is beyond the reach of persons, mentally, by speech, by action, from whom as an Asura, as a deity, as a Danav, I should not encroach on such a woman. When that happens, I will meet my destruction. I accept that. Listening to these words, Brahma feeling happy, pleased by what he has said. He says, O son, you get all that you desire. O great king of Danavas and Daityas, you get up and enjoy your desires. You should always be valorous. You should always be the victor in your fights. In this way, when Andaka stood up, remember I told you how his body had become as if he was starved. You could imagine. He says, Prabhu, what will I enjoy with my body like this? How will I be able, imagine when his hand like this, the skin alone remains, it's flapping in the air. How will I be able to have any victory when my body is like this without flesh? By your touch, Prabhu, however, I could be restored. Please touch me and give me back the strength, the youth, the look that I once had. Heal my eyes, heal my body, and allow me to be on the best footing now to enjoy what I have earned. And by the fingertip of the index finger, by the touch of that finger, Andaka got back all his amenities, his faculties, everything, as if he was renewed, reborn, now better than ever. Now with eyes being restored, he returns to his city. And when Prahalad and all of them who were young saw him more valorous, more capable, more able, they became subservient to him. So Andaka becomes the king as Prahalad is growing. Andaka with all the armies now, everybody is under him, and they are all listening to him. They charge against Indra. They wage war, knowing that he's protected from them. Let's hear what happens. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Gyani ki naratam Shubh patra yadmanate Sukh karna bhave siddhya Sadhya ye kaudhyatyatam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Together with all his hordes, with his forces, they charge all the Loks, all the Gandharva, Yakshas, great holy people that live in the upper regions. They too have to become subservient to him. He enjoys, wherever he goes, he enjoys victory. Without any hindrance, without any abatement, he is allowed to rule and very ferociously destroy those that would oppose him. He becomes very polluted, deluded, and blinded by pride. And what? Spoiled by his association with wicked people. People, why are they wicked? Because they encourage him in wrong. Because they encourage him to maintain his bad habits. Not one advisor in his court cautioned him. Not one told him to hold back, restrain himself. Don't destroy the innocent people. Instead, becoming more and more intoxicated with riches, he disregarded the same prayers he used to say, disregarded the prayerful people, the brahmanas, other people, women, children, brahmacharis. He defiled all of them. He told his soldiers to rape the gurus. He had no humility. He made the gurus bow to him. Overpowered by these things, he was making misfortune come to him. Death is on its way. He maintained his life following this type of bad ways. And at one point on the Mandachal mountain, his workers, people by the name of Hasti, Vaidashya, Duryodhana, they were roaming the place, going quickly to see a place, to see what it had before he would come to visit there? Is it deserving of his visit? Is it beautiful enough? So they went to scout ahead. And while scouting in a cave, they saw somebody sitting in the Dhyana Mudra Asan. He had the moon on his head, elephant skin wrapped around his waist, serpents coiled around his arms, his neck, all over his body. He has a munda mala, a skull, a mala made of skulls strung together. His hair is made with matted locks, and he has a trident and bows and different forms of weapons close by. His hands have rosaries made of the Rudraksh bead. And in this way, this four-handed form, very fair. His body is covered with the ashes, the bhasma. This ascetic, who is he? With these features, why is he equipped with all these weapons? He has a bull that he's riding. All these things are not for ascetics, not for praying people. If you are a hermit and you're living in a forest and you're giving up everything for the prayer, why have weapons? And close by, after they see him, they see a beautiful, another ascetic in a female form, a very beautiful damsel, young, beautiful. She has gems in her hair. She is richly adored with all forms of coral, pearls, jewelry, beautiful dress, fine clothing. It seems that after seeing her, Sanakumar, these three workers, they become spellbound. And their only way to go is to go quickly to tell Andaka, Raj, of what they had seen. She happens to be the wife of the ascetic who is in the cave. We were watching, and she maintains him. She brings things for him and takes care of all his needs. Sanakumar says, listening to these words, Andaka's body started to shake as he himself, with lust, with that type of desire, he wants to go and see, who is this? What is this? I who enjoy every woman I see, every beautiful thing I want, I take it. And if the woman does not want to give me her body, I take that too. So powerful am I, Andaka Sur, that I can rape and pillage anybody that I want. Nobody can tell me no. This Daitya king, Andaka Sur, is son of Hiranyaksh, the Lord of all the Loks, is coming to see who is in the cave. Who is this woman? And he says, you know what, before I go, you send a message to that ascetic. So the three of them go back to where the hermit is in the cave, sitting. And they wait. And when his eyes open, Lord Shiva eyes open, who is Lord Shiva? The hermit in the cave. They begin to speak. Let's hear what happens. As trouble is about to come to this king, he has just, you know, there's an old saying, I remember Pani Krishna saying this, and it never left me. The person who taught me prayers, Pani Krishna from Sisters Road in Trinidad. One day, me and his son, Pani Jisnu, we were still doing our degree, and he was quarreling with us, to be honest. He was quarreling with us when we were choosing our degree, we choosing craziness. Long story short. And he makes this statement, don't trouble until trouble you. And I always remember that. And these people just went and trouble. Let's hear what happens in this verse. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita
Namastasye
Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu
Shakti Rupena Samstita
Kedam Sharirang Tva Basmadhadyam Kapala Mala Bharana Virupam Tunira Karm Koti Bhashmam Bhanaye Bhushaye Yati
Ya
Devi Sarva Bhuteshu
Shakti Rupena Samstita
Namastasye Namastasye
Namastasye
Namo Namaya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Prayascha Narimam Santva Purana Ye Stitya Ye Tapkin Kuravesha Vedaye Yati Ayukta Mitaye Vyatam
Ya Devi
Come on, everybody, let's sing together a little bit.
Sarvabhuteshu
Shakti Rupena Samstita Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. When Lord Shiva opens his eyes, the three emissaries speak with a tone of Abhiman. O intelligent one, who is your father? No Sitaram, no Namaste, no good morning, how you going? No manners. Why are you sitting here? And who is the father of that beautiful girl on the side? Today we are the workers of that king Andaka, and you have to give that girl to him in dawn. Why is your body smeared with ashes? Why do you wear a garland of skulls? What is wrong with you? Why do you look so dreadful? How could somebody so ugly get somebody so beautiful? If you are an ascetic, why do you have sword, weapons, missiles, trident, vraj, all these things here? Who do you want to fight? Oh, person who has the Ganga flowing in his hair with the moon on his head. Why do you have different kind of bones stuck in your hair? Why do you have serpents with their tongue hissing venomous fumes around your neck? How do you expect to get close to a beautiful woman like that? Oh, you stupid person, don't you know it is inauspicious to ride a old bull? Look at her. Look at that Parvati. Who is Parvati? They didn't call her name. Look at that person. She is as if she is the sun at 12 o'clock. In the midday, in the highest point, she is full with light, giving brightness and luster to all those that come. And you look like the sun when it's setting. You have no beauty, you have no luster, you are like your face is like the thorny apple. The thorny apple is the seed from the datur plant with all the picker. You look ugly, you have no scent, you are like that flowers, you have no benefit to nobody. Listen to me. Take my advice and heed my warning. Don't let my king reach here. You will be overpowered in one push, and she will be taken in any case. Oh dear one, because you are a calmly sitting person, we are giving you an opportunity to give away your wife. Oh foolish one, how do you perform tapasya to this extent and have this woman? Don't you know that is impossible? Then do what is proper for you and give that woman to my Lord, the Lord of all the loks. At this utterance, in case you disobey him, and in case you disobey my command, you will be deprived of your life. Lord Shiva, well versed in the worldly conduct, being the Lord of the universe, treating with Andaka, with all his false wisdom and evil wisdom, listening to the words of the emissary, spoke to them. He says, in case I am more than what you see, in case inside of me I am Rudra, why do you engage in this falsehood? Do you think you can attack me? Do you think you can destroy me? O little one, O child, speaking such words is not proper for you. You better listen to my prowess. I have no appearance. Remaining ugly and foolish, I am performing Pashupat Vrat in these caves, which could never be performed by anyone else. No one else can do this Vrat. And it seems as if Devi, listen to Lord Shiva's word, is testing my merit as I am doing my prayers. Here comes distraction to interrupt with my mindset, to interrupt my cool and calm and my state of equilibrium. There's no chaos here, and she is wanting to see what will I do. Oh children, you are dead pawns, you are puppets in a play between myself and herself. That damsel always remains young, she is always beautiful, and she bears all pervading marks that show her potency and the success that she gains when we are together. If you wish to try, if you wish to try and take her from me, tell your king to try his best. Go ahead. If you want to try, try. And see what happens. Prem se bolo Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Sanat Kumar continues to Narad Muni. Narad Muni wants to know more. He's enjoying the build-up. Listening to these serious words, the Danav bow and they leave that place, returning to Andaka Sur's castle. Whatever words were spoken by Shiva, they repeat it to him and they tell him, Prabhu, Rajan, this is what the husband said. The demons are valorous. We do not follow the rules that they follow. Therefore, let us go and take what could be yours. You are the greatest king, and therefore you should have the best. He says, because of this, I am going to release that terrific, horrific individual, Vidaka. Vidaka is one of the emissaries, the workers, a powerful general in the army of Andaka, and he lets loose this person. He sends him to the Mandarchal mountain where Mahadev and Parvati are staying for that time. And they send him to destroy and to take mother and bring her. Sanat Kumar says, the foolish Daitya, disregarding truth, remember, forgetting his shrap with anger. Just as how ghee boils and bubbles as it is being burnt by the flames of the fire, as if the ghee is trying to overcome the fire. It is raising up in the bubbles and it is boiling up as if it can in some way entrap that fire. And more it raises, more it is drying. The imagery of ghee burning is showing how people that are intoxicated with false knowledge, they think themselves great like the ghee. And in true and in fact, more their pride, more their ego gets away from them, they are losing the fight to the fire, step by step. More and more they are doing it to themselves. Likewise, intoxicated with this false knowledge, it spelled the misfortune not only for him but his whole family. And in this way, they charge. They go. Andakasur goes with all his people, and Vidak goes in front. Just as the firefly dances with love in his eyes to the flames of the fire, Vidak and others attack that place where all the gunners rush out. Let's hear what happens as a grave battle ensues. All the different daityas stand against the gunners. Let's hear what happens. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Virochan stataye chakar yudhavali vanayate te yudhaye daitya dhana datta samnatye hridakritayati. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. All of them are ready to fight. Virak is the lead on the Shiva's side. My mistake. Lord Shiva calls on Virak. There's a person on the Andaka side with a name close to it. That's why. He says, Virak, I am engaged in this Pashupat Vrat and I cannot get up from here. I am not going to break my breath to go and engage in battle. That is my test. When you are praying, does the phone distract you? Does everything distract you? Does it break your merit when you're doing your prayer? Look at the example of Lord Shiva tonight. Mother is testing him. What is he going to do? He wants to do Pashupat Vrat. What is the bigger pity? Are you going to break your prayer because some trouble has come? He says to his son, his Gyan, you have my power. You, O senior warrior, destroy them. Allow me the time to sit and complete my breath. Allow me the time to sit and do my puja. This Pashupat breath is not easy. And it is not done by devatas. Nobody else could do it. Now, because of this inauspicious hour, I am being tested by the hand of Devi. As she is manipulating the forces to do this, I am moving from this place and I am going to the forest to continue my vrat. May you protect her and protect this place. For 505 days, Mahadev Baba, right hand, Viraka, fought against the forces of Andaka in the absence of Lord Shiva as he went into the forest. But after that 550, Viraka was overrun. And Parvati found that Viraka is now powerless. He has fainted. Mother inside the cave calls on Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Surya, Rudra, all of them, Indra, all of them to come and save her. Listen to the words, to the prayer of Parvati Mata. A woman to accept a husband for her security and for the safety of her family. The female is different to the male. On the day of the wedding, Sanat Kumar says to Narad, when she leaves the protection of her father, she is going to go under the protection, the umbrella of the husband. Blessed is the husband who could upkeep the level of security that the father once had over this person. One day, the same mother goes under the protection of her son. Sanat Kumar is looking at Narad's face and he's confused. This is Adi Shakti Jagadamba. Isn't this the same lady when they decapitated Ganesh head? She expands her form into the 18 hands and she's about to destroy that same Mahadev. How is it she's so helpless now? Sanat Kumar replies to him, he says, you look and listen to the act of Adi Shakti as she's playing her Leela, as she's teaching a lesson. He says, which woman is not powerful? But for the sake of a home, the lady follows the leader of the home, the husband. In the animal kingdom, the lion is the king of the jungle, but it is the lioness who does all the hunting. She is the true predator. But mother follows. And when she has to act now, calling on all of them today, when husband is not able to protect me, I call on you. All of you, protect me now. As a mother calling children, all of them come, but out of respect, they come in female form. Brahmani, Vaishnavi, Rudrani, Indrani, all of them come in female form. All of them manifest in that cave from between the doorway and where mother is. All of them stand ready to wage war against the horde of unclean and unnasty people that are coming to touch her. Sanakumar says the person who protects the woman, the person who treasures her body and treats her with that divinity, the words to describe the blessing that will come for such a person, by doing that simple act, then there is no prayer to compare with it. When regaining consciousness, Vidaka realizes that he's now together with a woman army, and they all charge together. All of them, the text here at exorbitant amount of detail. Who had which weapon, who had done, who had sword. Vaishnari had 1,000 eyes, and she came. The female form of Yamraj had a stick, a dand. Toya Lekha, a form attached to Varun Devta, comes with the noose, and they are hitting and killing all the armies. Parvati Mata is safe. Shri Shakti Mata ki Jai. In this way, hundreds of Devis, goddesses, marched on the battlefield. And seeing from nowhere comes an army of Devis, Andaka is taken aback. He feels distress because his forces are failing. His forces are falling. The ladies put Viraka in front as their chief, and they are fighting and waging war. Let's hear what happens. As Andaka is about to make a decision. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Hiranyaksha putraye vambhupa chakre mahavyapat hara mara sukarma ye bhavanti vishnu niranrakshayamaye gilaye tam. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Seeing the goddess with the embodiment of Varahi, the embodiment of Yam, all of them taking form. Andaka sends forward Gila, an even more powerful demon that started to destroy and give great amount of trouble to these various Shaktis. Great battle started to fight. Gauri, Shiva, everybody. Vaigasha is the one I'm remembering. Is the messenger now Andaka sends to Lord Shiva in the forest. And the messenger talks about your forces are being obliterated. You're going to be destroyed, Shiva. Why are you forcing me? Andaka is saying through the messenger, why are you forcing me to fight someone like you? Simply give me that woman. Listening to these words of the messenger, the third eye of Lord Shiva opens, ready to burn and to incinerate the messenger. He said, since you have spoken these harsh words, it is time for me to enter into the battle. Whenever anybody, oh incompetent fool, when the woman who is made to be pleasant, who is made to be guarded and protected, who is supposed to be something of great pride, oh incompetent person, when that person endangers, inflicts pain, hardships and hurtful experiences against women, I will come to destroy such people. No, tell your Lord that soon I will engage him on the battlefield. All Principal Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Whilst this conversation was going on, Vegasha goes back to Andaka to tell him, and all the hordes start to attack the cave. They are ripping at the flowers, all the beautiful trees, everything is suffering because of the onslaught of this battle. All the Devis were affected by these great demons, and they are starting to fall. Let's hear what happens in the next slok. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Nave Yah Sad Grihayatam, Yastiye bhalavya kaliyataha swadhyaha tena ye stira dashapatin patine tatanuha tataye shakrastiti rugha girayale girijayetam dvijayate gunayatam patiya mahurat ye shaukan. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva
Tab Sharanam.
Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. As the battle went on, Mahadev now coming closer and closer, seeing how all the Devis are in distress, picks up his trident. It is time for him to enter into the battlefield, and he destroys the bodies of many of these Daityas. He takes the Trishul and he throws it to the chest of Andaka. And as if the sun had scorched the body, his body starts to burn by the rage, by the energy, by the tej of Mahadev Baba. That Trishul burns his body. And all start to celebrate with the fall. But something happens. The Guru on that side, on the bad side, Shukracharya had learned Mrityunjay mantra. And he using the Mrityunjay mantra, all the Devatas are shocked to see that when he starts to pray, everything that was destroyed, all the lifeless bodies start to get back up. Shukra is using his prayer. And only one thing can stop it. So powerful is this mantra that Lord Shiva summons Shukracharya. Let's hear what happens when he comes. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Nama Shariro Vahina Evam Deha Sadagya Dvijayataye Natam Nirupa Bridhaye Satatam Gunapataye Ati. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. San Kumar says, when Shukracharya came close, Lord Shiva swallowed him whole. Because without destroying him, the mantra, that Mrityunjay mantra, that Sajivani Tapasya that he was using, he had opened the power of that mantra and he was using it to revive bad people. Lord Shiva swallows him whole in his stomach. But Shukracharya in the belly of Mahadev Baba is getting to see all the different forms of creation. Whilst trying to get out, he is lost in the creation of Prabhu. And he is getting a tour, as it were, of what God's creation looks like. It is a blessing for him. But all the deities, they are depressed. Because now, when they bleed, when they die, when they are destroyed, this time they cannot be revived. Andaka, who had been revived, he's more cautious. He's afraid. He's fearful of what is coming. Now, Skanda, Vinayak, Nandi, Som Nandi, all of them take to the battlefield again for the protection of their mother. Mahadev Baba sends them forward. And they begin to destroy once again all the different workers, those that are bad. Let's hear what happens in this next slok. Aye Shivaratri Bambola, Aye Shivaratri Bambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bambola, Aye Shivaratri Bambola, Aye Shivaratri Bambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bambola. Ate kavya vidi kalyatam Shukracharya Bhriguputrayetam Daitya he mahashan vedata Kuruvan nidhinanye atam. Aye Shivaratri Bambola, Aye Shivaratri Bambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bambola. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. When the fight is going on, Shukra is inside the body, the belly of Mahadev, and he's praying. He used a special prayer that till today people use this Shukracharya Kavach, this prayer to Lord Shiva. We'll chant a couple of verses just now. When people are ensnared, especially one application of this. You see, when you are in domestic violence, when you're in trouble, when you're in a horrid relationship, and you want freedom, you want out. Now let me say this. Sometimes pundits make a statement when people are getting married. If we have any domestic friction, if we have any type of trouble, don't go and tell anybody. And I sometimes think that is a misprint in the book that they're following. Because common sense and the rule of law is, when you're in trouble, you have to talk. Too often, you see women being battered, beaten, killed. And you're going to tell these women, don't say anything? Anybody goes and harms or tries to harm Parvati Mata, she goes to her Lord to talk. When she's in trouble, she goes to Ganesh. When she's in trouble, she goes to Kartik. When she's in trouble, she calls upon her sisters. There must be somebody to help me. What it should be, know who you're going to talk to. Simply because there are people who would use your innermost details to laugh at you, to break you, to insult you. It's not hard to see that. Sometimes your own family use you here. They had trouble in their marriage home, boy. You hear what's going on with them? And drag that, the same family drags their name, drags their relationship on the road. Instead of going and saying, listen now, let me work this out, let me talk this out. I don't want to let a fight. In everything it have two sides. Men are judged very, very rough. The man curse, the man get on, the man hit, nobody has say right. But something caused it. We have to have an ability for those people like pundits, people who are counselors, people who are parents. Learn to listen to two sides. We have 2 ears, listen to two sides before we make a judgment. We have to remain objective. But we're supposed to remind the girl and encourage the boy when things are bad, when things get hard in the marriage. Maybe a counselor, maybe a guru, maybe the pundit, maybe somebody you trust. Talk to somebody. But don't go and talk to somebody who is a divorcee, you know. Go and talk to somebody who will guide you to lift your marriage. You know, there's a saying, married people should not be lying with single people. I believe, I've lived to see that the trouble that caused. No marriage is without its trouble, as you'll hear in our next night discourse. In everything, it takes a certain amount of compromise and understanding. Forgiveness. It takes some energy to make it work and to make it last. But when a person who is a divorcee, when a person who is single, don't take that, you know. He do that, don't leave that. Whereas a person who may be more experienced in marriage, more years, more anniversaries, might say, you know what, better days will come. Don't sweat the little things. Discuss it, work it out, it have to change. That stupidness have to stop. But don't be quick to divorce. You didn't marry for one day. That is part of it. I agree. When we are talking about domestic violence, talk to a police, talk to somebody to help you. Don't risk. Nowhere did Pandit Keshava say, you're married so you have to take wherever you get. Those days are gone, everybody. We have to teach our sons how to handle and how to talk, how to be a husband and not be a beast. This is important. When you are in this kind of trouble, this kind of prayers could help you. When he did the prayer, he was able to pass out of the lingam of Lord Shiva. And because he came out with the seminal fluid of Mahadev, Lord Shiva looks to Shukracharya and he says, from today, you are my son. You are what came from my body, O Shukra. And he gives him more information, more teaching. And he says, may you always remember the value of using prayer for good and the upliftment of good people. Do not use all the knowledge that I give you, O child, O son, to bring down good people. Shukra bows and he leaves. For this reason, O Narad Muni, I have described to you how Lord Shiva swallowed Shukracharya and he was able to come out from the belly of Mahadev. And because of this, he is born a son to Lord Shiva. Everybody, please put your hands together. Let's just do one verse of the mantra that Shukra did. Sanakumar is asked by Narad Muni, could you tell me the prayer so that I would know it? I could use it too. Om Namaste Devasya Sura Asuryana Sanjivani Nath Saskritataya Bhuta Bhavaye Mahadeva Deva Hariye Pati Ye Lokha Chanaye Balaye Tam Buddhi Rupa Patiyate Vayandritaye Sanchadya Hiranyaye Tre Lokanatha Bhavaye Ishwara Ye Hariha Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayana Namo Namah. He says, you are the one who has green eyes. You who, having the hide of the tiger to cover your body. You who sit by the fire, O Ishwar, O Hara. You are the cause of the dissolution of this world at the time of Mahapralay. You are the Lord of the Ganas. You are Kala. You are Maheshwara. You are the one who is wearing the snakes. And like this, he goes and he calls out all his features. O Vamadev, one of the heads in a five-headed form. O you who is the God of the Bhikshu. All these different forms. The Panchmukh form of Lord Shiva is described. Parvati accepted Shukracharya as her son. Vishweshwar is now ready to accept Andaka. And when all the hordes were destroyed, when the Andaka now destroyed again for a second time by Lord Shiva, he praised the Lord Shiva. And accepting where, you see, the Trishul that we associate Lord Shiva, Shul is the one pike in the middle. Trishul means three pikes. Andaka was lodged here on top of this blade for a very long time. He sat there, hanging on to the Trishul of Lord Shiva. And he's praying to the 108 forms of Lord Shiva. Now, in this way, he called the various names. The one with the crescent moon, Chandrasekhara. The one who is stable, the blue neck one, trident bearing, bull-eyed. The one who is Purushaha. The one who is the enemy of Kamdev. The destroyer of Kamdev. The person who has matted locks. The one who is very ugly. The one who is Girisha. The one who is terrible. The one with lips that are very long, broad smile. The one who is the greatest yogi. The one who is the destroyer of Kala. The one who destroys Tripura. The one who bears skulls. He starts to pray like this and he's calling all of their names. And he's praying to Lord Shiva. Praying again and again. Dear Mahadev, please hear my prayer. And after a long time, Andaka asked for forgiveness for what he had done, for trying to disrespect Mother. Knowing that that disrespect caused the end of him and his soldiers. Standing in front of Mahadev and Goddess Parvati, he says, I ask for forgiveness, not only for myself, but for all those people that I caused to fight as we tried to disrespect Mother. Let's hear what Lord Shiva tells him. Aye Shivaratri Bambola. Aye Shivaratri Bambola. Shiva Shivaratri Bambola. Shiva Shivaratri Bambola. Bola Bola Bambola. Bola Bola Bambola. Bola Bola Bambola. Bola Bola Bambola. Aaye Shivaratri Bam Bhola, Aaye Shivaratri Bam Bhola, oh
Shiva
Shivaratri Bam Bhola, oh Shiva Shivaratri
Bhambola.
Bho Bho Daitra Dhishyate Yamnani Anchayatam Andaka Ditya Putrayate Subratayena Andaka Sud Aye Shivaratri Bambola Aye Shivaratri Bambola Aaye Shivaratri Bambola, Aaye Shivaratri Bambola. He says, oh Subrat, O great king of the deities, I am pleased with your patience, your discipline in sitting and in doing your prayer consistently. You weren't lazy. You didn't give up. When today I said the prayers and I want how some people pray. When I say my prayers today and I want the change tomorrow. He says, no, you have shown fortitude. You have shown prowess. He says, my work, he says, I listen to my devotee, but I am slow. He says, because the merit of the person has to be tested. Will you give up? Will you throw away your prayer when you are tested? He says, what I am looking at is your nature. You have stood fast. You have stood strong. You have waited. Remember, devotees, prayers has to have patience in it. If nobody never taught you how to pray, consider what I am saying. The person who knows to pray knows that I am talking to God and I have to trust in my God. What is faith? I have faith that He is listening to me. But then I have to give Him a chance to work. Continue to pray. Prayers don't answer today for tomorrow. This is not a fax service. This is not an immediate text on WhatsApp. This does not happen like that. But because of our karma, sometimes we have difficulties. Is the truth. Bad things happen to good people every day because of it. But we have an option. By going to God via Praschit Karma, we do Shivratri, we do good. Why? Dear God, I am doing good. Please forgive me. Dear God, change my karma. Did you ever think about that? Why do you pray? If the Patra book has already have everything written down, it's cast in stone, we're going to get into a car accident. I'm going to die at 65. I can only have $5 in my pocket. Consider what I'm saying. If that be the case, and Parabdha karma is already etched. Parabdha karma is where God says, I'll make you a father, a son, a brother. I'll make you work for these people. I'll make you have money. I'll make you not have money, whatever it be. Why do you pray? If tonight our question, after listening so far, is, why are you doing Shivratri? What is the purpose? Life hard, life bad, everything hard. Why are you doing prayers? Then remember, what is the purpose of prayer? I did bad, so I am getting punishment in my life right now. Things are not the way I want it to be. Think what you say in at home. I'll chuck my hand in my pocket and I'll come out with $5. God gave me this $5. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mahade Baba. Thank you, God. Check yourself. Don't you go and at some point, let's say Diwali day, Mother, thank you for the $5, but the bill is $50. Mother, could you change this $5 into $50? Mother, could you increase my pay? Could you give me the promotion at the job? Could you help me home? Could you help me pass my exam? Suppose it was written in the patra that you were supposed to fail your exam, never get a job. But prayers makes us in charge of our destiny. That yes, karma is there, and karma brings sometimes bad as well as good in our life. But we don't accept karma. The praying person, using things like vrat, such as Paya Vrat, Shivratri Vrat, Navratri Vrat, Ekadasi Vrat, all these tools. Imagine I had spanner and screwdriver here. Tools to get what you want. Let's just pretend this is my breath. I'm doing prayers. Lord Shiva, I did bad before, just like Andaka. Andaka did bad. And I'm doing prayers to offer praschit. Praschit is the act of asking for forgiveness. The act of saying, I know I did bad. I made mistakes. But I want to reform. I want to be better. I want to do better. Please, Lord Shiva, who was now throwing the Trishul at Andaka, is now saying, I accept you. I forgive you. I will give you a chance. Because of your patience, your discipline, remember that word patience? Because you adored me daily and you were freed from that type of behavior that you had before, today you are freed from all the sin you've committed. You are entitled to receive a boon. Ask me for what you want. As a result of all this time, you have spent 3,000 years, you sat on that Trishul, and in that place you prayed. On hearing the words of Lord Shiva, Andaka clasped his hands and he spoke to the Lord of Umapati. He says, Dear God, because of lust, I expressed to Parvati Mata in a very deplorable way. I let down myself, my family, my father, my ancestors because of my action. I disrespected you, our Jagat Guru. Somebody asked me once, how come Lord Shiva is in the husband role and he's so active in all the plays? You will see our play. How it is he is the one who chops off Ganesh Baba's head and he loses Kartik. When you listen to Brahm Vaivat Puran, he is the one who's running at Parvati Mata when Krishna incarnates as Ganesh. He's trying to feed everybody. There are so many discourses where he's playing the part. And one of the explanations for that, for his very active role in this way, 1 minute he's a husband, then he's crying when Sati Mata dies, then we have the destruction of the body, then he goes to burn the body and all the gut in Varanasi, and he takes the ashes. Why does he have the ashes? Remember that we talk about that? He burnt the body when the bosom of Parvati Sati Mata fell in Varanasi in one particular gut. He went and he put the wood and he burned and he says, I am showing you, Devi, how much I love you. And he takes the ashes of her left bosom and he puts it on his body and he says, I adorn you, I adorn with you. You are the coating on my skin. So much I love you. Why does he do that? Why is he really wearing a skull? We heard from different discourse when Parvati Mata, whose skull is that you're wearing around your neck? When we're doing the arati, they sing the praises of the one who wears the skulls. Those skulls belong to Devi at different births, different time. Why is he like this? Do you remember one of his names is Jagat World Guru? Jagat Guru. He's everybody's guru. And he is usually trying to teach you and I how to behave, how to conduct ourselves. And in these illustrations, Andaka says, you are Jagat Guru. You were teaching me and I failed. Please have compassion. Please understand how embarrassed, how shamed I feel because I transgressed against the Mother Guru, the Mummy Baba, the Guru Mother of this world, the Guru Ma of this world. I looked at her. Instead of a mother, I looked at her with lustful eyes. I looked at her with the wand of sexual desire. And today, now I was physically blind, but I was spiritually blind. Although I got back my eyesight, I am now understanding how blind I really was. Oh Ishwar, I am depressed. After sitting and praying for so long, that feeling is still inside of me. I am destitute, but I am full of devotion for you. I have come to seek refuge in you, and I am begging you, let me always look at that mother, Goddess Parvati, as my mother. Oh Chandrasekhara, I never want to see her anger. I never want to see see her in any way. Do not allow me to have the blemish of lust, anger, and all these things. Allow me always to look at her as a mother and to be showing respect to you and mother always. Allow me to be pure. Allow me to be close to you. Oh Ishwar, forgive this sinner and let me stay with you as a gunner. Oh Shiva, by your grace, because of my birth in this family, I got caught up with wealth, with jewel, with acquisition of land, fighting for property. But now I see the truth wiped away by your touch. I see what is real and what is not real. Please accept this fool as your gunner. Speaking like this, knowing the mind of Mahadev, Parvati Mata, she replies. And she says, from your previous birth, you have been ordained to be in this moment. He bows as she is speaking, and both Shiva and Parvati kiss his head, allowing this Andaka Sur the grace to become one of the Gana. In fact, he became the Ganapati before Ganesh accepted that role. He was one of the Ganapati. Ganapati simply means the Lord, the Master, the General of the army of Ganas. Shiva bestowed the mantra, Mrityunjay mantra upon him so that he could heal and rejuvenate life. And he told him, recite it carefully. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Sanat Kumar continues to speak to Narad Muni about the role of Lord Shiva. That although a man might have different things to preoccupy him, Lord Shiva shows his priority is his marriage and the protection of Parvati Mata. Parvati Mata prayed and begged that she would be under the umbrella of protection of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva never jibbed from his duty or in any way his acts of protection. If you today are a follower of Lord Shiva, then how can you beat the Parvati in your home? As I said, I agree, there are two sides to every story. But there is no room for breaking the law. And domestic violence is against the law. There is the other side of the story, and we'll do that in one of the subsequent days. Men get licks too. Men get damaged, and we'll hear a discourse where Parvati Mata basically run Lord Shiva from the house. Today, let's focus on this bit. For all my husbands out there, I just want to remind you, Lord Shiva was an exemplar husband, always providing. Although he's the hermit, he doesn't say, I am wearing very little, you have to wear very little. He always keeps her well dressed. Watch your pictures. She's always in a beautiful sari, wonderful crown, looking the way he wants her to look. And he is the one who, the matted locks mean he doesn't even care about the hair. He's not combing and putting gel and all these things. No, that's not him. She never has to wear a serpent around her neck. He is who he is, but he keeps her like a dear light. He shields this woman that was gifted to him. The father says, I give over to you this girl child. Please protect her. Please safeguard her. Please make sure she is well. And Lord Shiva does not fail in his duty. He is who he is. And he maintains Parvati Mata at her level, in her way, in her look. Today, as we reflect on this discourse, husbands out there, are you doing your duty? If we got married, you chose the person. In every marriage, as you will hear, I'm telling you, Rakshan coming tomorrow, you will hear they fight as well. It is not only you and I. Pandit, look, mommy, Baba sit on right there, look here, see. But trust me, believe me, I just have my days. It have days when you just want to wait till you do. Wait till you do, oh God, I wish I could take it off and give it back. Oh God, the battle, the fight, the cry, the war. Don't feel as you are alone. But you know what? If you really believe in your Lord Shiva, this is the time you have to get down and hold on to your feet. Ask him how you do it. How you really handle the goddess in this universe. How you just keep that lady and keep smiling. The bar closed for some of we and we can't run by the bar and lime to get away from the wife. Oh God! How we going to make out? Besides the pundit, besides the counselor, besides all of these things, you need help, talk to somebody. But domestic violence is not condoned. It is not encouraged. This man have the Trishul and he beat Tripurasur, he beat Andaka, he beat Basmasur, he beat everybody, but he never beat Parvati Mata. How could you be Hindu following him and you're forgetting that part? In fact, for the husbands that are neglecting your wife, neglecting the Parvati, but they're running down Parvati from other people's home. Please remember when he went to have his honeymoon, everything shut down. He left all the Ganas, he left Kailash, and he enjoyed his time with his wife Parvati for, according to text, for over 1,000 years. He did not leave her. When you do that prayer and you get married to somebody, you as a man, you accept a role to fulfill your wife. Now I know some people say, oh my God, what did Keshava say? But all you know, I got to talk the truth. All you know, me ain't going to put water in my mouth. There are many people in their homes, husbands neglect their wife sexually, physically. They can't say one good compliment. The lady cutting here, dyeing here, fixing here, and the husband, oh, you just be scruffy. And the lady will still say, you're looking good today. But it's just a one good word, an uplifting word. To kiss the lady, let me say, gone are the days we kiss you on she lip. Forget that. Forget that. Just to kiss you on she forehead, to say a kind word, you can't do that. As a husband, you accepted a role that I am the Lord. I am the only person your Lord, is what we say in the wedding. And when you neglect your wife, sexually, physically, protective-wise, in any way, that is sin. There are so many homes, I'm getting so many calls and I'm talking about it because of that. Everybody forgetting Parvati Mata and they're picking up Parvati Chika. If you understand what I'm saying. There are many people that are being affected because of the influx of other people, and they are allowing people to get into your home. But Lord Shiva fought all his battles and he always came home to rest his head in the lap of Parvati Mata. If you believe in it, then you have to follow those traits. What wrong if a husband shows love to his wife? I always talk about the quality of the music we listen to, the rum this and the rum that and the horn this and the cheating that. That is not what we should be teaching children. You have sons and your sons have to learn how to speak to a woman, how to approach a woman. I was sitting talking to my nephew the other day. They don't know how to talk to a girl. They only know how to text and IG. So the day they have to interact with the living person, I don't know how they're going to do that. Me, I find the chapter in the book with that one yet. They don't know the finer arts of maybe dancing in a good way, not the loose and the jiggling and the stretching way. No, the normal way to dance, what you would dance for the first dance in your wedding reception, something like that, with class. Fathers are supposed, when the mother brings the children into the world, a father is supposed to begin the act of teaching. Every sanskar, the father does the prayer thereafter. The mother has done her job. The father begins to teach. And what is the lesson? If a father is not teaching to be loving, many psychologists, many psychiatrists speak about that. If you don't teach children at home to be loving, what will they become in their own life, in their own marriage, in their own home? If all I know is to beat and to hit, never to sit and eat as a family, never to sit and pray, But look at Lord Shiva when they're having their family pity and Mother Parvati, and he is next to each other. In our Dharma, they tell you where the wife is supposed to sit. On the left-hand side, and when they are doing different vrat, different ritual, different dance, on the right-hand side, she has a place. He just has to stand up one spot. She is more important. Left-hand side, right-hand side, holding the children, smiling, and if we are taking out a family pity, they are always together. Tonight, as we are getting ready to conclude, if you are preparing for your Shivratri, prepare for Shiva. If you make mistakes in your marriage, all right. For my men tonight, just the men, I'll deal with women another night. Please use this as a little reminder that in life you will have many battles. Don't bring that battle home. Lord Shiva didn't say Parvati Mata had another man. He defended his wife, he protected his wife, he trusted his wife. I agree there are many, somebody will say, well, Baba, it has some people you can't trust. And I agree. The answer is when you know, when you get to siphon out these people. Some people have to divorce, some people have to separate, I agree. Everybody who do prayers by the baby and they're getting ready to marry, some, yes, have 56 years anniversary, and I agree, some people have to divorce. And I'm saying it is better you separate than you kill each other. We try the counseling, Baba, and they're working. What I would say is, for people who check your patra, Mangal Dosh, for people who don't, they're not compatible. Because we just do craziness too. We just go in the bar to find man and woman and you're looking for sadhu in the bar. So you shop in the wrong place. That is like going in a shoe store and you're looking for camphor. You wouldn't do that in any other aspect of your life. You would go in the right place to get the right thing. Then if you go to buy a car, I said it in satsang before, I'm saying it again. If you go to buy a car, be fair with me, you would grab your phone and Google, is Toyota better than Nissan? Is this model? Is these parts available? Let me get the mechanic to check it out. Let me get the guy who just paint the car to watch the body of the car before we say, okay, I'm going to invest in this. But what do? We watch at 10 feet distance. She looking good, boy. Good figure. She here looking nice. Right, dice it. And you make the decision as if you're buying cat and bag. You had check out nothing. Remember in Patra it have 8 different ways to check compatibility. It will tell you if it have cheating, if it will last, how your health will be, all these different things. So before you end up in trouble, friend, Parvati Mata prays before, she didn't just get Shiva, you know. She prays to get him, to keep him, and she remains there. They have their struggles. We will talk about it more and more, but nobody comes between these two. Nobody. Remember that. And if in your life there is room for improvement, please improve. Husband, leave all your friends. When you get married, just as you put on the Sunday morning, when the mother, if you never see it, I'm telling all you, when the mother, the last thing the boy mother just do when she put him in the car, she just take his head and rest it to her bosom. And what that means, this is the jump from being a boy to a man. From going from the first ashram in your life to entering into the second ashram. Why? Because all your mothers do sometimes cause trouble. The boy married, give him space to be a man. Yes, he will make mistakes, that's fine. Let them make the mistake, let them learn, give them room. You had your time. Give him chance to grow and expect him to be a man and not always a son. He will always love his mother. Pandit is not saying don't love your mother, but there has to be a focus. There has to be some focus on the wife and his children. That's his family. Let him develop that and still take care of parents. Still love them. But there are some mothers, me and my mother was talking about this the other day. The poor fella, let me just say, imagine he living downstairs with wife and mother living upstairs. And poor thing, he'll get fat. Why? Because he had to eat roti upstairs and then come downstairs and eat roti downstairs, for example. But in the prayers, she rests the head here, oh God, but I'm sending you to get married there, and you'll be a man, and you'll grow up, and you want you to be a man. There are many examples, and I am sure it is intricate of discourse. I'm sure if we sit down to talk, there are little gray areas within what I am saying here. And I accept that. But if there's room for the husbands in our circle to improve, I am begging you on behalf of every goddaughter I have, please do your part. Forget everybody. Leave all the friends outside. You're now a husband. You are now a man. You and your wife, you need to spend time together with your wife. How do you expect to pray to God and you are neglecting the woman that you accepted in this life? Do you really think somebody needs to tell you, make time for your wife? To have sex with your wife, make that time, make that personal time. That is what marriage is. That is what God wants. That is the coming together of husband and wife. That is natural and it is sacred. Because, brothers, if you don't do your homework and that girl goes by somebody else for homework, you know she's wrong. And I would tell you she's wrong. She married one person, stay with that person. If it doesn't work, divorce. Come out of it first. Do it the right way. But a lot of divorce is happening because people are not doing what they were married to do. And I'm saying today, I'm talking about men. There's a day for women. Trust me, it have two sides. But if we are, and bear with me, if we want to do the puja and see the blessing in your life, at some point, you have to live right. And we talk a lot about all the discourse and all the satsang, but when I meet people one-on-one, a lot of people have marital problems. And it has to fix. And Lord Shiva is our Shah Rukh Khan, and Parvati Mata is our Kajal, and they are acting and showing you in different stories how to do it, how to work through it, how to get it done so that you could celebrate the many anniversaries. And when many years from now, I come to read by you and we're singing and we're going, in them times we're going to have drumming and we're going to have all the support. The way you want it to do, the crowd will be big, everybody will come, and you're surrounded by your loved ones and your dear ones. You know why? Because throughout all the hardship, all the years of catch tail, you still persevere, and for that sacrifice we celebrate. You did it. Just as how Lord Shiva talked to Andaka here. He says you had patience, you had discipline, you stood fast. You stood fast. You see that discipline? It takes a lot for a man to say no. No. Your partner calling you, living and take a beer. No. That $5 I could have put in a beer, I could buy a bag of bread to feed my family. No. Let me go by the roulette machine now. No. I don't have to explain that one. No. Many homes in Trinidad, I'm talking about Trinidad now, with the influx of the Venezuelans that the government apparently don't know coming in. They leave that one alone. Nobody I know they're coming in, but they appear, puff, Jai Vishnu. I'm remembering one story in my mind right now. So the husband, Hindu, Indian guy, goes in the bar, drink to the point he is clearly drunk. And these women from Venezuela would come and sweet talk them and take all their money, offering them the world in terms of sex and so on. And under that drunken stupor, they do what they have to do. And it brings in ruin, it brings destruction to all our homes. What? Forget the wife. Let me say the wife is nothing. What is the example to children? In the Hindu circle, we never had child father and child mother and this kind of craziness. Where is our group as a society, as a dharma? Where are we going when we teach the next generation? Well, it's all right if you have a child with this woman, that woman, and we'll start up, I guess we're going to start up all the children Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you're going to allocate a day for each one of them. The same thing we spoke about other people, because in our dharma, we have strong family values and we respect everybody's role. So for the wedding, we have the Pua doing this and Mausi doing this and da-da-da, and we're going. Those things are gone. And if we are not careful, the little semblance of family life that we have, that will go too. When in a different discourse, Lord Ganesh has Hema, his daughter, Santoshi, and all these other forms. When the daughter, Sri Ram's granddaughter, Kush had a daughter, when they was ruling what is now called Iran, that area of Iran, when they was ruling Afghanistan, Sri Ram has a granddaughter by the name of Hema as well. And it showed in the discourses that dealing with these two characters, the daughter of Ganesh and the daughter of Sri Ram, how they maintain the love and the closeness with grandparents. And where did that love come from? Where did that teaching come? Children learn by what they see. If you teach them when you're going to sleep, bow to your father's foot, hug up your father, kiss your father, good night, dad, and daddy says, don't forget your mother, they will grow with that. If daddy says, you know what, Shivratri coming, every man fast, we have to go in the temple, they will grow with that. If the children see daddy and mommy always sit together for prayers, that is what a husband and a wife does. When they get married one day, that is what they will know. But when you show them that it doesn't matter how you live and how this one live and what you do and when you do you think you are so lucky that Hiranyakashipu could have been the worst person and he gets Prahalad as a son, who will somehow from birth be born with the innate ability to pray to God? Not everybody is born with a Prahalad. Not everybody has a child that is naturally, invigorated and ambitious, not only in life, but also spiritual side of life. If you don't make the time with the child to go to the music class, to go to the swimming class, to go to the dance class, do you think they'll do it on their own? No. If you don't teach them the lessons that they have to have that time to show them as a parent, I made time for you. When you become the child in old age, do you think they will make time for you? We wish, you always said, Baba, my daughter don't make time to come and see me. It's my birthday and my son ain't come. When it was their birthday, correct my fathers. Wife, you go ahead and cut the cake now. I do with the boys. Did you make time? Did you teach a child? When you hear somebody die, I love to use this example. Now the boy child have to offer turban every day. When the father dead and the father in the box, the boy is expected a good son. Is expected to offer tarpan every day. When the father was alive, did that father teach his son for Pitra Paksh how to offer the tarpan? Yes or no? Did you do it? Me I know Baba, me I know about anything. Well, of course. Go by your godfather, go by the guru and learn. For those of you that want to contact me, get onto YouTube and you will see my name, search my name, you'll add my channel and you'll get all these satsangs. Lower on the bottom of the page, you'll see my phone number. Feel free to WhatsApp me or call me. If there's in any way using like the prayer of the Shukracharya or all of these stotras that are found in Shivran, there is solutions. There is prayer to reconcile a husband and a wife, to save a marriage. It's heading for divorce. It could be based on problems in the birth chart. It could be the dosh that is interfering with the marriage. Kumbha Viva, different prayers could be done to save that marriage. And with the right prayers, we could do it. When there is another lady or another man trying to thief the happiness that you have, Lakshmi Mata takes a form called Yakshmi. Take out the L and put a Y. Lakshmi, Yakshmi. And that person who is being swayed by another person, the prayer says, let me have the sway. Let that spouse of mine listen to me and don't listen to another person. Meaning another lady or another man. For you to understand. If you want that help, get in contact. We'll discuss it. Today, as we come to the end, as we are drawing to the end of our discourse, let's sing a little chant for Lord Shiva before we conclude. Hey Shiva Shankara, Jai Kaileshwara, Namah Shivaya Om. Jai Shiva Shankara, Jai Kaileshwara, Namah Shivaya Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Ahibhushana Shiva Gaurinath. Gaurinath is the Lord of Gauri Mata. Ahibhushana Shiva Gaurinath. Paramasumangala Kashinath. Paramasumangala Kashinath. Girijaranga Paramananda. Girijaranga Paramananda. Shamadeva Priya Ganganath. Shamadeva Priya Ganganath. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. I remember I was reading in Freeport in Trinidad, and Auntie Chris wrote down this song for me on this piece of paper. I kept it. Uncle Kishore and Auntie Chris Sitara. To everybody, as we end this session, keep viewing. We'll have 2 more sessions in this Yagna, the Shiv Gyan Yagna. The ashram is always trying to, in different ways, engage you, whether it's on media, through Sankhya television, YouTube, WhatsApp, to provide the information that you as the Hindu need, although we are under restrictions. There are many people in Europe, many people in Canada that will get to view this broadcast. Please utilize this teaching. Remember the discourse of Andaka. And as we get closer and closer to Shivratri, get ready. Get prepared to worship your Shiva. My intention remains to get you to understand him a little more, to love him a little more. And why you worship him? Because of what he did, who he is, what he represents. And when you align yourself with your God, know that you are under his shelter and under his umbrella. And in doing so, you will gain his blessings, just as Andaka did. Prem Savaloma Pati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Let's do a short, just the arati as we conclude. Jai Shiva Om Kara, Har Shiva Om Kara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardangi Dara. Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangi Dara. Jai Shiva Om Kara, Har Shiva Om Kara. Ekanan Chaturanan Panchanan Raje, Hansad Garurasan Brishvahan Saje. Jai Shiva Om Kara, Har Shiva Om Kara. Jai Shiva Om Kara, Har Shiva Om Kara. Together, let's say final pratna as we bring the curtain down on this first session. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu Chasaka Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem Sablo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. Pavana Putra Numana ki jai. Shri Parvati Mata ki jai. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram everybody. Till next time, till our next session, keep praying and get ready for Shivratri. Sitaram.
Sankhya Television is not only the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, but Sankhya TV also has